Hey mga kadev! If you're a JavaScript developer, you know the feeling, right? Those moments you just want to slam your keyboard out of frustration. Well, in this explainer, we're going to talk about TypeScript, the medicine for the most common JavaScript headaches. All right, let's dive in.
Come on, let's be real. We have all been there. It's 2 a.m., you're debugging, staring at the screen, and you just cannot figure out why your code isn't working. You have that gut feeling that something's wrong, but you can't quite pinpoint what it is. And you know what? It usually starts with a very, very familiar error.
And there it is, the classic. Cannot read property name of undefined. This right here is the headache we're trying to cure today. It happens when you're expecting an object, but what you actually have is, well, nothing. It's undefined. So how do we prevent this? To answer that, we've got to understand the first big concept.
The root of the issue is what I call the anoto, or what's this problem. With JavaScript, a lot of the time, you're just guessing. You receive some data, but you're not 100% sure what its contents or its hoogies, its shape, really is. Does it have a name property? Is the age a number, or is it a string? It's a total guessing game.
And right here, you can immediately see the difference. On the left, in JavaScript, we have an object. Okay, it looks like it has a name and age, but there's no guarantee. Now look at the right. Using a TypeScript interface, we've declared a contract. It's crystal clear. A user must have a name, that's a string, and an age, that's a number. No more guessing.
So to make it simple, just think of an interface as a stencil or a mold. You're creating the exact hoogies, the exact shape for your data. It's you telling the code, hey, if you want to be a user object, you have to look exactly like this. This is a massive help for preventing errors before your code even runs.
Now, besides an interface, you can also use a type to define a custom shape. And one of its most powerful features is right here. We've created a type called size. This means any variable with the size type can only be small, medium, or large. That's it. It can't be extra large or, small. So, bye-bye, typos.
Okay, so the hugulus, or the shape of our data, is now clear. But what about grouping together not just the data, but the functions that act on that data? Well, that's where the concept of blueprints comes into play.
Think of a class like an architectural blueprint. It's the master plan for creating lots of identical objects. It groups the data, the properties, and the actions you can perform on it, the methods, all into one clean container. This is absolutely key for writing cleaner and more scalable code.
And because we're in TypeScript, of course, it has special features that make our lives easier. This next one is one of my absolute favorites.
Check this out. In just a single line inside the constructor, because of that public keyword, TypeScript has automatically created and assigned X and Y as properties of the class. In regular JavaScript, you'd still have to write this.x equals X and this.y equals Y. This saves so much time in code.
All right, now we get to what I think is the coolest feature of TypeScript. It's not just about adding types. It's about how TypeScript actually understands the logic of your code.
This magic is called control flow analysis. TypeScript literally reads your if statements, switch cases, and other logic to figure out what a variable's type must be in any specific part of your code. It's like having a super intelligent copilot with you at all times.
Here's how it works. In step 1, we say that input can be a string or a number. In step 2, we do a normal JavaScript check. If type of input equals to string. Now here in step 3, inside that if block, TypeScript knows, for the code to get here, input has to be a string. And just like that, all the string methods become available in your autocomplete. It's brilliant.
So why do we care about all this? Why do interfaces, classes, and control flow analysis actually matter in the day-to-day life of a developer?
Well, at the end of the day, these are the most important benefits. First, you get way fewer undefined errors in production. You catch bugs while you're still coding. Second, your code becomes self-documenting and way easier to read. Third, your code editor gets superpowers with intelligent autocomplete and error checking. And finally, when you're working on a team, the contract between developers is clear, making everything faster and smoother.
So, I'll leave you with this question. Think about the projects you're working on right now. Which one of them is giving you the biggest headache? That one just might be the first one that needs the medicine we call TypeScript.